As you probably know by now, we are getting 2 brand new mansions and we know the locations of where they're going to be. One of them is going to be by the Vinewood Bowl Arena and the other one is going to be right next to Mini Madrazo's mansion. But the big question a lot of people have about the mansion DLC is, are we going to be able to buy mansions that are already in the game? And if we can, what mansions are going to be available? So in today's video, I thought we'd have a little look at a couple of properties that I think we might be able to buy if we are able to buy existing mansions. And I can't lie, it does look likely that this might be the case. But before we get into anything, guys, if you're not already, if you could subscribe to the channel, it would be massively appreciated. We're trying to hit 20k by the time GTA 6 comes out, so if you like GTA and you want to stay up to date with everything to do with GTA, be sure to follow. So yeah, existing mansions. Now, out of all the mansions in the game, there are 2 that are the most requested, and these of course are Devon Westons mansion and the Playboy mansion. Now we'll get into Devon Weston's mansion in a second, but I don't think you'll be able to buy the Playboy mansion. Now firstly, when it comes to the Playboy mansion, it's kind of untoppable. Like, there's very few buildings in the game that are going to be as good as this one. It is fucking massive. It literally blows any other mansion in the game out of the park, which means every other mansion that would be available to purchase would be kind of useless. Or not useless, because ultimately there's always going to be one that's considered the best, but it is just leagues above everything else because it is so fucking massive. But aside from that, there is a big mission that takes place there in the contract DLC, and unlike the smaller missions like sale points and cargo collections, it's not really one that Rockstar can go back and change because the mansion plays such a big part of that mission and that storyline with the billionaire owning it. But the main reason I don't think this mansion is going to be available is because it kind of isn't like the other ones. Now that sounds daft, so let me explain. There's a good chance that these 2 brand new mansions we get are going to be very similar looking to Devon Weston's. Now, obviously not one for one in design, but I mean kind of like an upgraded stilt house, if that makes sense. If you look at the locations where they are, they're not flat, they're over the edge of a hill. And I've said it many times before, but I imagine they're going to end up looking something like either Devon Weston's house or Tony Stark's mansion, where it's kind of like a building flat bit on top, and then a lot of it is hanging over the edge of the mountain, held up by these huge pillars, very much like what we see with Devon Weston's house. And I think the 2 brand new mansions we are getting are going to fit this theme, but I think if any other previously existing mansions in the game are going to be purchasable, they're also going to have to fit this theme, because chances are interior wise they're all going to be very similar, and it's going to be up to you, the player, to customize what the interior looks like the casino apartments. Now I'm not saying they're all going to be the exact same copy paste interior, I just think they're going to have a lot of similarities and potentially reused assets shared amongst the new mansions. Now of course I could be completely wrong and they might take a chunk out of the mountain and build it like Mini Madrazo's house, but I think there's a very good chance they end up looking like Devon Weston's. Now following this theme, obviously there are only a couple of mansions in the game that already look like this, and of course one of them being Devon Weston's. Now we are getting some missions that are going to be teasers for the mansion DLC, and if you want to know everything about that, go and check out the last video. And one of these missions, we're actually clearing out Devon Weston's house. It sounds like there's people living in it or gang activity or something like that, but essentially from the phone calls with Raph, it sounds like we're making this mansion available to be put on the market. Here's some of the phone calls from Raph, and thank you to Lucas7 Yoshi for leaking this. I'll link his video to all of the phone calls from these 3 missions down below.
Head to Buenvino Road and I'll fill you in. There's a mansion up in the hills, been empty for over a decade, crazy views. I mean, it's like a porn set up there, you know? Shame a bunch of gangbangers, and not the fun kind, been using it for God knows what. We gotta go clear them out. How's it looking, huh? A little messy out there? Don't worry about it. As long as we can get the bloodstains gone before the real estate photographer comes, I'm a happy guy. I gotta tell you, Mr. Faber's extremely impressed with what we've done here. This town's about to get some serious top-tier motherfucking luxury on the market.
But yeah, it sounds like we're clearing it out and then people are going to come in, do it up, and put it back on the market to be able to be purchased. I don't think Rockstar would tease this mansion going back onto the market if us, the players, wouldn't be able to purchase it. So I think alongside the new mansions, there's a strong chance that Devon Weston's mansion will actually be available to purchase on Pricks Luxury, because I don't understand why they'd be talking about putting it back on the market if we were then not able to buy it off the market. And obviously, like I said at the start of the video, this has been one of the most requested properties in the game, and I mean, it's clear to see why. It's such a fantastic looking building and such a flex of wealth, but also the views you get with it as well is insane. But following this theme of previously existing mansions that we might be able to buy, there is one that I think stands a very good chance, and that's because it shares shares a lot of similarities with Devon Weston's mansion, and that is over here at Lake Vinewood, and it's this house on the end here. Now obviously it's not one-to-one looking with Devon Weston's, but it shares a lot of the same characteristics. You come down the driveway and the garage is right there, and then you turn left and you have the door right there. You walk over here, and like Devon Weston's, there's steps going down, or you can turn right, and then at the back of the house, like I mentioned, it's kind of one building that then goes down, and you have this massive overhang bit with a pool and some stairs. Like I was saying at the start of the video, you have the flat area that has the building, and then it goes down and there's a flat area that's being held up by pillars. You might not see it straight away, but the whole kind of design of this is very similar to Devon Weston's. And if Devon Weston's is going to be able to purchase, then there's a good chance this one as well could potentially be on Bricks Luxury, because it shares a lot of similar characteristics. And also, I definitely buy this. I mean, look at the views, like fucking hell. I'd argue these are better views than Devon Weston's house. You can see the Vinewood sign. If you got rid of the trees, you could see over the city. Like, this would definitely sell. But the way I see it is, if Devon Weston's house is going to be similar to the new mansions that are coming, and this mansion is similar to Devon Weston's house, then there's a good chance that this could be on Bricks Luxury as well. It really depends how many properties Rockstar actually decides to put up for sale, and for all we know, we might get a couple new mansions as well, other than the ones we already know about. But also around Lake Vinewood, there are a couple mansions that could also potentially fit this criteria. The two next to it as well, although they're not like Devon Weston's, they're somewhat similar, if you know what I mean. There's a chance they could change them a bit and integrate it to be on Bricks Luxury. And then there's this massive mansion here, which it isn't like the Stilt House mansions, but holy shit, I'd pay so much money for this to be available. But I think out of all the ones in Lake Vinewood, this is the one I can see most likely being available to purchase. But aside from that one and the Devon Weston mansion, there's not really any other mansions in the game I could see being available to purchase, unless they're going to be significantly different to the new mansions we're getting. And again, that is providing that the new mansions are going to be like these Stilt House designs. They could be completely different for all I know. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Guys, do you think Devon Weston's mansion, and also do you think this new mansion at Lake Vinewood, will be available to purchase? I say new, it's not really new, it's been there since the game released. But do you think it will also be available to purchase if the Devon Weston mansion is? And comment down below if I missed any locations, or just comment down below any mansions you'd like to see be added. Like I said earlier, that big one at Lake Vinewood, I'd love to see be added to Bricks Luxury. But of course, boys, only time will tell, and as we get closer to December and through November when they're going to release these missions, we should soon be getting a lot of information about the next content update, which is of course the mansions DLC, and I'm extremely excited. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to stay up to date with everything to do with GTA Online and the mansions DLC, be sure to drop a sub. And we're getting very close to 12k subs as well, so I just want to say a massive thank you for that. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Vibing is winning, Franklin. Everything else is bullshit.